What is the worst time of year to visit New Zealand? The worst time of year to visit New Zealand really depends on your travel preferences and what you want to do and see. However, there are a few things to keep in mind that could make certain times less favorable for travelers. The pros and cons of visiting New Zealand during different seasons. Visiting New Zealand is an experience like no other. Its stunning landscapes, unique wildlife, and friendly locals make it a dream destination for many travelers. But when is the best time to visit? The answer depends on what you're looking for in your trip. In this video, we'll explore the pros and cons of visiting New Zealand during different seasons, so that you can decide when the best time is to make your journey there. Summer in New Zealand, pros and cons. Late summer/early fall, February to March. While this is generally considered a good time to visit, it can be crowded with tourists and prices can be higher. Accommodations and attractions may also be booked up in advance, so it's a good idea to plan ahead. Here are some pros and cons of summer in New Zealand. Pros. 1. Warm temperatures. Summer in New Zealand is warm and sunny, making it the perfect time for outdoor activities and adventures. 2. Long daylight hours. With long daylight hours, you'll have plenty of time to explore and enjoy the stunning scenery. 3. Beaches and water activities. New Zealand has some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, and summer is the perfect time to hit the water and try out activities like surfing, swimming, and kayaking. 4. Festivals and events. Summer is a busy time for festivals and events in New Zealand, with plenty of opportunities to enjoy music, food, and cultural celebrations. 5. Abundant wildlife. Many of New Zealand's native wildlife species are more active during the summer months, giving you a better chance of spotting them in the wild. Cons. 1. Crowds. Summer is peak tourist season in New Zealand, which means larger crowds at popular attractions and potentially higher prices for accommodations and activities. Point 2. Higher prices. As mentioned, prices for accommodations and activities may be higher during the summer months due to increased demand. 3. Limited availability. Popular accommodations and activities may book up quickly during the summer months, so it's important to plan ahead and book in advance. 4. Hot temperatures. While warm temperatures are a pro, it can also be a con for some people who aren't used to the heat. 5. Limited snow activities. While summer is perfect for water activities, it means that snow activities like skiing and snowboarding are limited or unavailable. If you enjoy warm weather, outdoor activities, and cultural events, then summer is the perfect time to visit New Zealand. However, keep in mind that it can be crowded and more expensive, so it's important to plan ahead and book in advance to ensure availability and get the best deals. Stay to see the next season's pros and cons. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Autumn in New Zealand, pros and cons. Here are some pros and cons of autumn in New Zealand. Pros. 1. Mild temperatures. Like spring, autumn in New Zealand brings mild temperatures, making it a comfortable time to explore the outdoors. 2. Stunning fall foliage. Autumn brings a stunning display of fall foliage to New Zealand's landscapes, with vibrant hues of red, orange, and yellow. 3. Harvest season. Autumn is also harvest season in New Zealand, with an abundance of fresh produce available to enjoy. 4. Fewer crowds. Like spring, autumn is considered the off-season in New Zealand, which means fewer tourists and smaller crowds at popular attractions. 5. Lower prices. As it's the off-season, prices for accommodations, activities, and transportation may be lower than during peak tourist season. Cons. 1. Shorter daylight hours. As autumn progresses, the days get shorter, giving you less time to explore and enjoy the scenery. 2. More rain. Autumn can also bring more rain and storms to some parts of New Zealand, making outdoor activities more challenging. 3. Limited accessibility. Some attractions and hiking trails may start to close or have limited accessibility as the weather begins to cool down. 4. Colder temperatures. While autumn is still mild compared to winter, temperatures can start to cool down, especially at night. 5. Easter holidays. Easter holidays can be a busy time in New Zealand, which means more tourists and potentially higher prices for accommodations and activities. If you don't mind the cooler temperatures and potential for rain, autumn can be a beautiful and peaceful time to visit New Zealand. With stunning fall foliage, fresh produce, and fewer crowds, you'll have plenty of opportunities to explore the country's natural beauty and enjoy the mild temperatures. However, if you're looking for warmer weather and longer days, you may want to consider visiting during the summer months instead. Winter in New Zealand, pros and cons. Spring, September to November. While spring can be a beautiful time to visit, it can also be very wet and windy. In some areas, particularly the South Island, the weather can still be cold and unpredictable, and some mountain passes may still be closed due to snow. Winter, June to August. Winter in New Zealand can be cold and wet, particularly in the South Island. While it's a great time for skiing and snowboarding, some attractions may be closed and road conditions could be challenging in some areas. Also, daylight hours are shorter during the winter months, which can limit the time for outdoor activities. Here are some pros and cons of winter in New Zealand. Pros. 1. Smaller crowds. Winter is the off-season in New Zealand, which means fewer tourists and smaller crowds at popular attractions. 2. Lower prices. Accommodation, flights, and activities are often discounted during winter, making it a more affordable time to travel. 3. Scenic winter landscapes. New Zealand's stunning scenery takes on a different, often snow-covered, look in winter. 4. Winter activities. Skiing, snowboarding, and other winter sports are popular in New Zealand during the winter months. 5. Cozy atmosphere. Winter in New Zealand often means cozy evenings by the fire, hot chocolate, and hearty meals. Cons. 1. Cold temperatures. Winter in New Zealand can be quite cold, especially in the mountains and southern regions. 2. Shorter daylight hours. The days are shorter in winter, which means less time for exploring and outdoor activities. 3. Limited accessibility. Some roads and attractions may be closed or have limited access during the winter months due to weather conditions. 4. Unpredictable weather. New Zealand's weather can be unpredictable at any time of year, but it can be especially so during the winter months. Sudden snowstorms, heavy rain, and strong winds are all possible. 5. Limited wildlife viewing. While winter can be a great time for some activities like skiing, it may not be the best time for wildlife viewing as many animals hibernate or migrate during this season. Whether winter in New Zealand is a pro or a con will depend on your preferences and travel goals. If you enjoy winter sports, smaller crowds, and don't mind the cold, then winter could be a great time to visit. If you prefer warmer weather and longer days for exploring, then you may want to consider visiting during another season. Springtime in New Zealand, pros and cons. Absolutely. Here are some pros and cons of springtime in New Zealand. Pros. 1. Mild temperatures. Springtime in New Zealand brings mild temperatures, making it a comfortable time to explore the great outdoors. 2. Longer daylight hours. As spring progresses, the days get longer, giving you more time to explore and enjoy the scenery. 3. Beautiful landscapes. Spring brings an explosion of colorful blooms and lush greenery to New Zealand's already stunning landscapes. 4. Baby animals. Spring is an exciting time to observe wildlife, as it is the season for baby animal births. 5. Fewer crowds. Spring is still considered the off-season in New Zealand, which means fewer tourists and smaller crowds at popular attractions. Cons. 1. Unpredictable weather. Spring in New Zealand can also bring unpredictable weather, with the potential for sudden rain, wind, or even snow in some areas. 2. Muddy trails. Spring can also bring muddy trails and slippery conditions, making hiking and outdoor activities more challenging. 3. Limited accessibility. Some attractions and roads may still be closed, or have limited accessibility during the early spring months. 4. Higher prices. While spring is still considered the off-season, Prices may start to increase as the weather improves and more tourists begin to arrive. 5. Allergies, with all the blooming flowers and trees. Springtime can also be a difficult time for those with allergies. If you don't mind the potential for some rainy days and muddy trails, spring can be an excellent time to visit New Zealand. With fewer crowds and beautiful landscapes, it's a great time to explore the country and enjoy the mild temperatures. However, if you're looking for a guarantee of warm and sunny weather, you may want to consider visiting during the summer months instead. Please subscribe and comment to let me if you have been to New Zealand and what can you add to this information.